everybody, my name is Jessica Holyfield and I'm a professional dance choreographer and dance educator based out of the southeast of the United States, and we are going to be taking a look at the second round of the No Limit Challenge from Kingdom Legendary War. So these are going to be all of my analysis that I did of each individual group before I took a look at the episode to see what the results were. And so keep in mind, a lot of my feedback is not only going to be tailored to what I have already seen, but also it will be refined as I did watch the episode. So without further ado, let's get into it. Anyway, from here, ATEEZ, answer, Ode to Joy. I know this box. Look at them luring it up. I remember seeing this in their music video. I like their usage of like Beethoven classical music. Ooh. Ah, there's our masked man. The moon. There's the timepiece. So cool. Yeah, that mask guy is not happy. Thunder. Na, na, na. So we definitely have the World A, ATEEZ members, and the Pirates, ATEEZ Pirates right here too. But there are dancers! I remember that this was one of the choreographies I honestly wasn't a fan of because there's so many dated viral movements within it that just don't match the musicality at all. And I've talked about it. So ATEEZ is taking the same approach that the boys did in creating a storyline throughout the show, but we know this is actually a part of their lore of themselves as a group. That's freaking sick. That was so dope. That little mess right there. Is he gonna jump from that height? This took such a turn. I've never thought that opera could be at a rave. feels like we're in the Eye of Mordor right now. I'm so intrigued on the behind the scenes of this, not gonna lie. That's so fun. They defeated him. Love it. We're ascending. Hongjun, of course, going up, turning, because he's the leader. Cool. Wow. Okay. Cool. I mean, that was pretty cool. It definitely took such a different turn than I was expecting it to go. You know what I mean? It's cool. So they established right here, you do see the timepiece get stolen back, right, from the last challenge. And so I know a lot of times I literally just in the last one talked about the importance of concept and making it universal. Whenever you think about a show like this, I have talked about this before, people who are watching the show and the experts are coming down the pipeline, or they're watching it in succession, right? So they're not coming out of pocket as like a random challenge, right? So they've seen all the previous challenges. So having groups that create and further a storyline can help bump up their creativity because they understand the kind of show format that we're in. That's exactly what worked in the boys' favor in Road to Kingdom, and that is what ATEEZ is taking advantage of here. But they're doing it, like I said, with their own lore. This right here, the foggy box, reminds me of, I believe it was Answer, da-na-da-na, and the usage of having the pirates there. It kind of feels like, I don't know if that was like the first you see ATEEZ from World A and then ATEEZ pirates from World Z really go, like, you see them mirror each other, like you really see them kind of have that confrontation. I do know there's diary films and those types of things, and I've tried my best to learn more and more about the lore as I look at more of their content. It's still like, when you watch it out of order, you really quite can't like place it as effectively. But I'm just going to try to go off of how they were going about with the show. They definitely went, they took that timepiece, and now we're here. We've resumed. I feel like, wasn't Yosang, I do know in the lore he was captured. I know this. But was that established in the show? I don't quite know. I know it is in their lore, but I don't know if it was that part was established. And that's it. I like the believability of the dragging of the chain. That was very well done. Whoever they have as the masked man here, great job. Timepiece, boom, love it. And I love that, getting him in the box. That's actually pretty impressive because that box is foggy. And so in your head, you would think that that box is concealed, like it's sealed up. So how did our guy get in the box? You know what I mean? Songhwa. So Yeosang and Songhwa have now turned it over, and I think Songhwa has to get out of that fit pretty quickly because he is representing the pirate version of himself at that point, but at some point he's going to represent his own self from World A. Yoonho, racing it through that da-da-da, da-da-da, da-da-da. What's that from? I think that's from another one of their songs. Is it from Answer? Da-da-da. Maybe, I don't know. It's something. It's related to something. Dun, da-da-da, da-da-da. I like that. That's very believable. It's like little things like that I do appreciate seeing here. Whatever concept that they've decided to go with, even if I wasn't familiar with their lore, the commitment to it really helps a long way. That's something that I felt, not really with Stray Kids specifically, but with other dancers involved, it didn't feel as believable. Here, the masked man feels just, if not more believable than Yoonho, and Yoonho's doing a fantastic job holding it down and making it feel very combative, right? The turn, look at that, whoom. Because there's no face to go off of, you have to use other mannerisms in your physicality to really showcase and further the story, in which our masked person definitely does that. It makes you pay attention. Does that make sense? And part of me really appreciates the fact that ATEEZ has really gone this deep, because it does make you like have to really pay attention to all the fingerprints and the Easter eggs. I just come from a place of I have so much information. I haven't quite been able to put it in a very clear way for myself to know, okay, if I look and I see something, am I in world Z or am I in world A? Am I in Halazia? That kind of stuff I'm not that fluent in. Will I be one day? Who knows? But I am enjoying the fact that I can pick up on a lot of the imagery that I have seen in their other stuff, which I think is cool. I like that. Notice it built up and he took that chain and made it a moment. The slide through. And this right here, you have your opposition. There are 7 masked pirates, right? So you don't see Seonghwa in the frame yet. And I like, of course, with San, you have his kind of alter ego. So they're doing a fantastic job creating mirrors here. So even because you have to remember, we can't just assume everybody who's watching this has seen the music video or who has seen this kind of imagery take place. So it's cool that they're using that here. Building up the tension. Everybody is cheers. Really nice. Branching it out. And they go back in. I love that. They go branch away. Nice little dry ice moment. Vocals are strong. That part I think could have been a smidgen cleaner. I think they were trying to go mirrored. Dropping it down. Love that choice from Wooyoung. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Who's not in this shot? Looks like Seonghwa's not in the shot. Cool. A double on that, kicking through D. Cool. Nice accent there to take place. Now there's a couple things in this I'm like, oof, bless it. Choreographically, I still feel that way about certain parts of Wonderland. I have really talked about that, so I'm not going to talk about that here. With that pelvic thrust. It's so like that move is very anticlimactic to the build that they're bringing here, but that's just me. So we can. There's a double up DDD. I really like the fullness of the head that San brings for that. There's Yeolsang. Like that. So I guess maybe Seonghwa was there because there was 6 I counted, and then we have one of them. He's pulling. I like how he's crawling. It makes it look like he's trying to get away from something. He's moving away. The pull through is nice. Love that. And you have your dancers, you know, create a really nice accent to frame it up. Cool. Hongjun, great job. He's probably one of the most believable in terms of whenever he performs live. How he's getting his tone across, his lyricism, his diction, all of those things are very well done, and he definitely captivates in that regard, for sure. It's definitely, for me, it's the similar qualities of what made G-Dragon as captivating as he was. That's how I would extend the same sentiment to Hongjun in the most complimentary way I could give that. Like that, there's our gun right there. Ah, you notice that? That felt very Wonderland. You notice? I didn't notice that the first time. That's cool. Okay. So we have the pull. Then this right here, he grabs the sword. And then we have a pirate, and then he goes, he has a gun. We have another pirate, and there's the mask. Yep. So those were little Easter eggs in the back from the previous challenges. Aha! Did not see that the first time. That's so fun to go back and look at that. I like these little, like, look at the environment that's set. I think it's great usage of the spotlights. Look at how the LEDs cater into the marbled flooring, and then you have these drapes on the sides. It's just, they build it to a really nice place, and I think they're very smart with the spacing and staging that they just set up the environment in. And I think that's what separates Stray Kids from ATEEZ in this challenge for me right now, is the environmental prop utilization more so than anything. ATEEZ does give very boys energy this season, which I find funny because the boys are in this season, but like a lot of how their storytelling has that overlap. I love that brrr, notice that they peeled that so quickly and very beautifully. There's a little, that right there, Gangsta Walk. It's just not, it does not match the vibe of this whatsoever. That screams 2019. But that's not their fault. That's the choreographer. You guys have already heard me talk about that extensively. Na, 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 na. That little, oh, man. I like that choice, that dee 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 and brrr. That's really fun seeing that. I like everybody going from the outside, branching or just extending and pulsing down. It's on a nice kick. I like the camera making it feel like it actually is having a response to that. I like, once again, just that subtlety that San had as he let go there. Yeah, that commitment was dope. He just took that mask guy out. Then you have more mask guys. So you see there's an obvious collision that was taking place in the very beginning. So even if you don't understand the Easter eggs, a lot of the Easter eggs I think were made not for necessarily the show, but for the fans, for ATEEZ. So I love the fact that they are very strategic with that. But if you look at the overlying, let's say you don't know anything about their lore, you look, the obvious people who have the white masks, they're no good, right? They're bad news. So with ATEEZ, you could tell that there is a opposition taking place, and you see ATEEZ's interaction with those in the black with the hats. They react to them differently than how they react to the white masked figures. And so that's something you can definitely see an overlap. You can kind of assume maybe the ones that are in the black are complementary to ATEEZ, and then those in the white are like they want to join forces in some way to combat them. Like, you can pick that up, I think, just from the broadness, even if you don't know a lick about the lore. I like that. And then you have the little blind, you know, kind of cover up right there. Open your eyes, you know, wake up. That vibe. They come back in. They're holding him down. Then you have your two pirates right up there. You got to follow. There's a difference between the dancers and the pirates, because the pirates are, you know, the World Z ATEEZ, right? So you see, like, you could tell because of the iconic hat and the mask that they wear. Jungho, like, honestly, how the stage just completely changed. It felt like a freaking transformer. He just freaking yelled that. And then right here, you have Hongjun, who's the leader. He's pretty bound, captured is what it gives the impression of. Then you have these four individuals, very angelic in nature. You see people in the back. I don't know what's happening right there. Good chance that they're just resetting everything up. And that is what it is. This right here is freaking sick. Like, having those freaking, like, melt down. It was like hot lava. The little, oh. I never thought Ode to Joy, like, da 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 da. I was not expecting, like, my brain didn't register what that song actually was until they started, like, declaring it. And I didn't know, like, my brain broke for a second just listening to both. It just feels so, I don't know, it's a sweet potato to me, you know. I don't like my starches being sweet, but it's other people's flavor. Whenever I hear a song in a particular avenue, how it's remixed, I'm very sensitive to it for myself. It may not be other people's cup of tea either, but it could be somebody's bread and butter. I appreciate the integration. So now you see Jungho take from our pirates the crown, kingdom affiliated. He walks up. And then you have everybody reset. And then right here, we're starting a rave. You know what I mean? The BPM is now. And then it feels like, okay, things are happening. I guess this is the part I don't quite understand. I know at the end we beat the masked guys. Yes, I know that. But what is this specifically signifying? He takes it, and I think he just freaking chunks that crown, is what it looks like. I do know this does remind me of, you know, sometimes when you watch a movie and you see the bad guy get completely, like, battered, and they're playing, like, this beautiful classical music over the top. I wonder if that's what they were going for, because that's the only way my brain is taking it right now. You can see you have your pirates on the outside. You have ATEEZ with the masked individuals. They're having a slow-mo moment. Super cool. Jungho's like, ha! It's fun. Fire everywhere. Throw fire. Hitting it through. Ba, ba. Definitely builds it to a very dramatic place. That boom, 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 boom. Nice. Like we're about to do a lock-in. Great range here. Picking it up. Hitting it through. D-D-D-D-D-D. This choreo does look familiar. Just BB tripping. Does remind me of that. Boom. Nice little ponies. And you have your dancers with the pirates have some form of branch out, bring it back in. Love the fullness of that from our masked dancers. That D, cool. Nice, seeing that there at the turn. D, and then you see the masked individuals fall. Even the pirates fall too. I guess that's my one thing. I guess that's another interesting note too, is that our pirates are down. ATEEZ has succeeded, and that now makes it feel like everybody was an enemy of ATEEZ, including our pirates. So that's what I'm curious about, is why they made the choice to have the pirate equivalents of them be also passed out like our masked people, because I would think if we're going to make it look like we're on the same team, that they wouldn't be affected like the masked people are. So that's my dear ATEEZ on Patreon. Please, if you happen to have a theory, I would love to hear that particular part, why that is a thing. And then you have the 4 opera singers that definitely have like the red influence too. Cool. And their kind of drapery. It's very angelic. We've now made it. Love it. And the finish. Ta-da! Those are expensive suits. You want to know why? Because if you look at that right there, if we're going to name a brand, Swarovski's kind of a really big not applique brand, but it's one that definitely had a lot of the stones that you see on costumes. They don't do that anymore, but I think during this time they still were doing it. Those stones they're pretty penny over time if you have to use a lot of them. And so those stones are what makes this outfit more expensive than it would without the pretty red shininess of it. But in general, I liked that. It definitely, I felt like you could see more of the combative and then the resolve a little bit more effectively in this case. I still think that B2B's had the most clear storyline out of everybody, which I find to be interesting. A lot of times I pick up on more of a dance group to pick up on that more, but with ATEEZ, I do think we definitely have that lore involved. I am still a bit confused about a couple aspects of it, and being familiar with the lore that could also influence how I currently feel about it. It was pretty well done. I do think if you look, take away the concept, but look at how they structured and used their stage, I think it was so creative and very effective, and I liked the usage of the opera singers too. It took us to a really interesting place. Thank you guys so much for taking the time to watch. If you want to see more of my analysis or perspective on any of these groups through their time on Kingdom Legendary War, I have some challenges that just could not make their way onto YouTube due to copyright, but they are on Patreon waiting for you, as well as full episode reactions to boot with refined feedback. So once again, my name is Jess, and I will catch you on the flip side. Bye.